Now at 9, a local church in Pittsburgh is hoping to help people understand poverty with a poverty simulator. Plus, Miami Public Schools hosts a STEAM event for kids in the area. And
Ukraine pressing the U.S. for more weapons as its forces suffer its biggest loss in months. I'm Lucas Tomlinson. I'll have the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
this is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy. 12% of Kansans are currently experiencing poverty, and one organization in Pittsburgh is hoping to help people understand what it's like for those in a difficult situation. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more.
As poverty rates across America continue to rise, people are trying to better understand what struggling families are experiencing. The Cost of Poverty experience is an immersive way to do just that.
So it gives attendees the opportunity to live a month's time in poverty and go through all the stress that we maybe don't realize happens when people live in poverty.
Care Portal and the Southeast Kansas chapter of Safe Families for Children are partnering to offer this experience for the community in Pittsburgh. Each attendee represents a real person who has or is currently experiencing poverty in the United States.
It's awful. No, it's really good, but it's really an eye-opener. It really is.
But there's so many facets of it. If you have children, if you're employed, if you're trying to navigate the legal system, all those impact each other a lot, and it's been really eye-opening.
Participants struggle to pay mortgages, buy groceries, find jobs or daycare, and struggle to find transportation. And for parents participating, the experience hits home.
It's no wonder people find themselves in challenging situations when they're doing as much as they can for their child.
Those in the simulation say they plan to use what they learn to help others.
I'm going to reach out and see who I can help in the community. I would love to help somebody try to navigate through where to go and what to do in the process.
In Pittsburgh, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
This simulation was brought to Pittsburgh thanks to a grant from Evergy. To learn more about the Cost of Poverty experience, visit our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us for a first look at weather.
Well, temperatures are already starting to dip down to the lower 20s in some of our eastern counties, and we're going to continue and see some really low wind chills along with that. Wind chills down in the single digits and then getting into the lower teens by 6 a.m. So we have a limited excessive cold risk all the way through tomorrow due to the low wind chills along with the low temperatures. And then they will start to warm back up as we move into Sunday afternoon with the ridge forming. It's going to bring some warmer air to our area. Then we don't see any rain or snow in the forecast for the next several days. It's looking to be a clear first half of the week, cut short by a rain system moving in on Thursday. And I'll bring you more details in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Well, area kids were able to learn how to wheel throw today at the Spiva Center for the Arts. Children ages 8 to 14 created some of their own pieces as instructor Stephanie Roy shared some tips and different wheel throwing techniques. Attendees were able to work on their projects from 10 this morning to noon.
I think starting them off, just experiencing things from a young age can really inspire them to do these things, because most of the kids in the area don't really have a chance to do stuff like this at home. So when they get the chance to come here and do it, and later on they find out, oh, I can do this, then it really makes that connection that they need.
Today's class costs $60 per student. Around 35 schools from across the area traveled to Joplin High School today to compete in the Joplin Kaminsky Bullseye Tournament. Over 350 archers at grades 3 through 12 competed in 6 rounds of competition. The tournament serves as a way for the young athletes to challenge themselves.
I've hunted, and I kind of thought that it was cool that the school offered something like that. and I really liked the environment that it brought, and it was something different, and I always loved it.
The Miami Public Library today welcomed STEAM students from around the 4 states from a STEAM social. The purpose of the event is to have fun while learning new things. Today's activities included coding, building structures with Legos, creating foam bugs, and dice wars.
We generally come every time they have it. We really enjoy the different activities and something free to do and warm while it's cold in the winter especially.
Today's event was free and open to all ages. Well, a new study is looking at how people in the Ozarks choose to give to nonprofits. Chris Bryant explains how the giving habits of people younger than 40 are different than older generations.
You have to know the rules in order to break the rules.
I've been in fundraising for close to 20 years. This is totally different. All the rules, all the lessons I know work, don't work anymore.
Now the way nonprofits attract donors has seen a shift.
Our nonprofits do a good job of putting donations to work and making a huge impact in the community. One thing that we have to really focus on, the study tells us, is communicating that out.
The study shows the habits of those younger than 40 are different than those of their parents. Their donations are less religious and not as conservative, and they are giving to fewer charities.
The older respondents tended to support like 5, 6, 7, or 8 different causes, whereas folks who are on the younger end of that spectrum might only support 1 or 2 or 3 causes.
It's not the tradition of giving that is being passed on, it's the evidence of giving, it's the generosity, but it's this is what I'm interested in today.
Community Foundation of the Ozarks had the Shaping Tomorrow study done by Habitat Communications and Culture.
The group in this research are giving, they consider different avenues of giving too. So it's not through churches or religious organizations like the older generations or their parents. So that is a shift, and the types of causes and things as well are different.
The report shows the younger generation doesn't trust established nonprofits as much as the older generation. They seem to prefer giving to people and families directly, either through GoFundMe or similar social media fundraising on Facebook.
There's really nothing that is more motivating or a stronger tie that an agency can try to build than that sense of personal connection.
In addition, the report showed younger generations like easier ways to donate and avoid sites where the donation page was long or hard to find.
However, what we found is people would click that donate link, and if it didn't populate with their information, they were done.
Nonprofits now need to rethink how to connect and make those personal relationships to a younger generation.
Where we can meet folks and share, we don't want anyone to feel bad. We don't want to pressure them, but certainly they can help us by telling the story. We're the best kept secret. We don't want to be a best kept secret. One of the easiest ways to do that is to share on social media.
The report shows organizations need to look at how and where they are reaching out to younger donors.
What hasn't changed is we are a generous community. We want to help each other. We want the community to be a better place. We're just doing it differently. So knowing that, we just got to tweak our methods to tell the same story, and we're going to be fine.
Later, we'll have 5 things you need to know about epilepsy. There's new help for people with multiple food allergies. On Friday, the Food and Drug Administration approved Xolair, a medication that can help lessen the severity of those allergic reactions. It works like this. Patients take an injection of Xolair once every 2 or 4 weeks. Then if they accidentally ingest something they are allergic to, the reaction is milder. Xolair is not meant for the emergency treatment of allergic reactions. The drug was originally invested to treat allergic asthma. It's a common neurological disorder that affects millions of adults and children in the U.S. Epilepsy causes reoccurring unprovoked seizures and can have a significant impact on a person's life. But it's a condition that's not always understood by those not affected by it. Mandy Gaither has 5 things everyone should know about epilepsy.
It's a disorder of the brain. Generally, people are diagnosed with epilepsy when they've had 2 or more unprovoked seizures, but not all seizures look alike.
The big misconception here is that epilepsy is only convulsive seizures.
Dr. Imad Najam, director of the Epilepsy Center at Cleveland Clinic, says the first thing to know about epilepsy is that seizures aren't always associated with muscle jerks or spasms. Other signs could be a staring spell, temporary confusion, stiff muscles, chewing movements with the mouth, or picking movements with the hands. Second, Najam says many times epilepsy can be controlled.
Maybe 2/3 of the patients, if the seizures are identified as part of the diagnosis of epilepsy, and medical help and appropriate medical help is provided.
Third, Najam says anti-seizure medication can help, and the goal is for complete seizure control. Next, he says depression and anxiety are common in those living with epilepsy. Loved ones should watch out for signs. And finally, seizures can be related to genetics or from a brain injury, but the cause is often unknown, and epilepsy needs to be diagnosed and treated.
There is a very good chance that these seizures will become under good control and the person will be able to live their life like everyone else.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CDC says a seizure is an emergency if it lasts more than 5 minutes. The agency says you should also call 911 if the person who just had a seizure hasn't had one before. If the person is hurt or has difficulty waking up or breathing afterwards, waking up rather, if the seizure happens in water or if there's a second one soon after the first. You should also call if the person having a seizure has a health condition like heart disease or is pregnant. Lindsay is next with a complete look at the forecast. And the cost of groceries is causing the average customer to stretch their penny further and farther. We'll have the details later on.
Temperatures are dropping tonight, giving us a limited excessive cold risk due to those overnight lows and the frigid wind chills that we're having. Taking a look outside at our downtown Joplin Cornell Complex camera, it's still looking to be a really pretty night. Aside from the cold, there are no clouds in sight, and we're looking at a pretty clear first half of the week. No rain or snow on the forecast for the next several days, and we are going to start to warm up. That is until after these wind chills start to warm back up. Right now they're in the single digits by midnight, still sticking around. And then early in the morning on Sunday, they're going to be in the teens, not warming up until Sunday afternoon. Now it's going to be a sunny day, so it may not feel as cold as the wind chills are making it out to be, but that limited excessive cold risk is still in effect until tomorrow. Tonight's low is going to be 22 degrees, so pretty chilly, and then in addition to that, those wind chills, it's going to be a cold night ahead of us. Moving forward, we see a ridge. It's going to form in our area on Sunday, giving us some dry, warm temperatures moving into Monday. Then a embedded trough forms over an Omaha, giving us some clouds, no rain, just clouds on Monday, before another ridge forms across the central U.S., bringing us some more sinking air, sunny skies, and warmer temperatures. It's going to warm up to about 72 degrees by Wednesday. And then we are going to see, unfortunately, that cut short by some rain chances on Thursday. We're going to take a closer look at what time we can expect to see it come in. A little after midnight, it'll start to pop up in Veneta. And then the southern counties are going to be getting rain by 3 a.m., continuing on all the way until 6 a.m. through 8 a.m. So when you're getting ready to start your day, go to work or go to school, we will have some rain chances, along with possibly some thunderstorms embedded with this shower. Continuing on, it's going to stick around for most of the morning. It will start to clear out by that afternoon, but we will have rain Thursday. Sunday, 52 as our high, Monday, 59, and then by Tuesday, we're getting up to 67. So for the next few days, it's going to be warmer, sunny, 72 by Wednesday, and then those showers roll in, cooling the temperatures off a bit as we move into next weekend, back down to the upper 50s. But throughout the rest of the 10-day forecast, temperatures sticking around from the 50s to the 60s. So we won't have any more drop in temperatures down to the 30s like we just saw today and last night.
That sounds good to me. It looks like a gorgeous few days ahead of us.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, thank you. Coming up, Dole recalls products that might be contaminated with listeria. Dole has issued a recall for some of its salad kits because of potential listeria contamination. Health officials say 26 people have been infected with listeria over the past decade. The California-based company is pulling a limited number of Dole-branded and private label salad kits from the market. The company says the kits were processed on the same line as cheese from the manufacturer Rizzo Lopez Foods, which also has been recalled. Consumers who've bought the products are being told to discard them immediately. A raw milk cheese item is pulled off the shelves due to an E. coli outbreak. The CDC says Raw Farms raw cheddar cheese is being recalled. The recall includes both the original and jalapeno flavors. The agency says the item was sold nationwide at various retailers. So far, there have been 10 confirmed cases from California, Texas, Utah, and Colorado. 4 of the cases led to hospitalizations and no deaths have been reported. The CDC says Raw Farms is cooperating with the investigation. Costs at grocery stores are on the rise, forcing customers to stretch every penny when going to the supermarket. Fox's Teresa Priolo talks with some customers about what they think of the ongoing increase.
It isn't unusual to see a half-empty shopping cart outside the supermarket these days.
This here was nothing, was $40.
But the contents of that cart cost a pretty penny.
$80 was like 4 things. Yeah, it's too expensive.
Inflation has hit every aspect of American life. And while some sectors have begun to normalize, it seems groceries, or food at home, as it's known by the Consumer Price Index, has not. Prices are up 2.6% in the last 12 months that ended in January. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, as recently as August 2022, the rate of inflation for food was at 11.4%, the highest since May 1979.
It's extremely difficult to keep in a budget now. I mean, it's never enough.
And to the surprise of no one in New Jersey, the Garden State has some of the highest grocery prices in the country, up 6.8% over the last 15 months. Taxes, real estate costs, wages, and utilities are to blame.
It's like you wonder where we're going to go.
And so something's got to give. Shoppers tell us they're price shopping, planning multiple grocery runs to get the best price on staples like meat, eggs, bread, milk, and deli. For other things, they're trying to spread out their costs in the hopes of shopping more efficiently.
Just for like a week's worth or just a groceries, $200 easily, and it's like that's not even 2 weeks of groceries.
Yeah. Everything is going up except the salaries. The salaries stay the same.
Right.
It's unreal.
A woman in Oklahoma is turning 100 years old on her 25th birthday. We'll take a look up next. An Oklahoma woman is about to turn 100 years old, but it's really only her 25th birthday. Mary Forsyth was born on February 29th, 1924, Leap Day. Since leap years only come around every 4 years, she will technically celebrate her 25th birthday this year. The party got started a little early with this community gathering. During non-leap years, people like Mary usually celebrate their birthday on either February 28th or March 1st. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Ukraine seeks more assistance from the U.S. as the Ukrainian-Russian war intensifies. Ukraine desperately seeking more assistance from its Western allies as its forces fall back from a city in the east, allowing Russia to push further into its territory. This as additional aid from the U.S. has so far stalled in Congress. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson has the latest.
We stand with Ukraine. We have stood with Ukraine since day one.
Vice President Kamala Harris meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky this weekend in Munich. The face-to-face comes as Ukraine says it's in dire need of additional help from its allies.
Ukrainians have proven that we can force Russia to retreat. We can get our land back, and Putin can lose. And this has already happened more than once on the battlefield.
On Saturday, Ukrainian troops were forced to withdraw from the eastern city of Avdiivka, giving Russia a new foothold in the territory it hopes to break off from eastern Ukraine. Ukraine says it needs more artillery and long-range weapons to push back Moscow's advance.
You cannot pacify them, you cannot appease them. You have to invest in the production of weapons.
The Senate this week passed an aid package that includes $60 billion for Ukraine, but its fate is uncertain in the House, where GOP leadership wants any new funding tied to a border bill. All of this happening as news broke Friday of the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. President Biden blamed Putin and reminded Congress of what's at stake.
History is watching the House of Representatives. The failure to support Ukraine at this critical moment will never be forgotten. And this has to happen. We have to help now.
In a statement Saturday, President Biden blamed Ukraine's retreat on congressional inaction. Traveling with the president in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Ukrainian President Zelensky expressed to the crowd at the Munich Security Conference that President Putin kills whoever he wants and that he cannot be seen as the leader of Russia after the death of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. A spokesperson with Navalny's team confirmed he died at a remote penal colony Friday afternoon, going on to say that he was, quote, murdered and it is not known where his body is. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Turner is facing blowback for sounding the alarm at an anti-satellite space threat from Russia. Bipartisan lawmakers say Turner may have gone too far. Fox News senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram reports.
Lawmakers livid, confused, bewildered at Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Turner for freaking people out about the Russian threat.
You make a statement like that, it can upset the market. People are panicking at home.
Lawmakers perplexed about why Turner portrayed the information in such dire terms.
I'm not sure he intended to, but he sure sicked the bloodhounds on the issue.
Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan rushed to Capitol Hill to brief top congressional leaders about the Russia space weapon and calm nerves.
No need for anybody to run for the hills. This is pretty standard stuff in the Intelligence Committee.
In a rare scene, Haim stood shoulder to shoulder with Turner and House Speaker Mike Johnson after the briefing. All spoke cryptically.
Some details have leaked. There's lots of conjecture.
I've got great faith in what the administration is currently doing to try to address this matter.
But lawmakers are perturbed at Turner elevating the threat to a crisis.
I don't agree with the way he did this. I don't.
Explain.
I don't think, once you open it up to 435 members, it's going to become public. You may as well just let it out.
Conservatives view this as a near conspiracy, a ploy to escalate concern as Congress struggles to approve aid to Ukraine and renew part of a controversial surveillance program known as FISA.
Why is it just coming out just now? It reeks of deep state, and frankly, I'm very skeptical of it.
Andy Ogles of Tennessee demands that Mike Johnson investigate Turner, a fellow Republican. Ogles claimed that Turner was, quote, reckless in handling the information and disregarded how the alert could harm the nation's psyche. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Still ahead, professional athletes tried their hand at esports.
In a history-making moment for esports, one soccer player is jumping from the physical field to the digital one. I'm Eamon Dignam in New York, and I spoke to the Vancouver Whitecaps player who did just that.
Today we are back in our regular February temperatures. However, those wind chill values were bitterly cold, getting into the -2, -1 range earlier today and still sticking around in the single digits tonight. Taking a look at our outside camera at Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin, it's still a pretty night. It is chilly, but no clouds in sight, and we don't see anything on the forecast for the next several days, just sunshine and warmer temperatures. I know I'm looking forward to that after today, and with these wind chill factors, it's going to feel really nice outside in the next few days. Sunday midnight, it's still in the single digits, and then moving into early morning, sticking around in the teens. It's not going to warm up until a little bit later Sunday afternoon, so we do have a limited excessive cold risk all the way through tomorrow, and that's due to the cold temperatures and the overnight low being still in the lower 20s, and that wind chill does not help anything. But moving ahead, Sunday, temperatures warm up, winds slow down a lot. We're going to see the sun come back out and warmer temperatures as we move through the beginning half of the week. Monday, we see a embedded trough in Omaha, bringing us some clouds, no rain, just a few clouds. We're going to have a cloudy Monday. Then moving ahead, Tuesday, it's going to be back to sunshine as this ridge starts to form over the central U.S. It's a wide ridge giving us a lot of sunshine, and it's putting us on a warmer trend through midweek next week. Then we see those rain showers start to roll in. We're going to take a look at what time they're going to be coming in. Let's see, 3 a.m. Most of the southern counties are covered in rain, and along with these rain showers, we could see some potential for thunderstorms embedded with the shower chances. It's going to stick around all morning, all the way through 8 a.m. on Thursday. So as you're getting ready to start your day, go off to work and go off to school, you may want to bring an umbrella because it is going to be raining for most of the southern counties. After that, we're going to be back to some sunshine. Unfortunately, we do have the showers on Thursday, kind of breaking up the sunshine, but for the first 4 days this week, sunshine and warmer temperatures, getting up to 72 degrees by Wednesday, with the overnight lows only getting down to the 40s as we move through the week. And then throughout the rest of the weekend, next weekend, temperatures cool off to the upper 50s and back into the 60s. So for the rest of the next 10-day forecast, we're seeing temperatures sticking around 50s to 60s pretty consistently, and no more drop in the temperatures like we saw yesterday and today.
That all sounds great to me. I like these temperatures, and I hope they stick around.
I like the sunshine. I am looking forward to that.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Lindsay. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Coming up in sports, Pitt State baseball looks to stay hot at home. Plus, the two local rivals, Missouri Southern and Pitt State, square off. Brock Baldridge will bring us the highlights and more.
Well, the two rivals from both of our local schools meet once again. Both Missouri Southern men's and women's basketball teams defeated Pitt State on the road earlier this season. Now the Gorillas look to return the favor this afternoon in Joplin. Pitt State versus Missouri Southern, a couple of the top women's teams in the MIAA conference going at it. So we start things off in the first quarter. Chrislyn Jones swishes a three-pointer there. A few possessions later, in transition, it's Jones who fires away again. She gets another three-point shot. She led Southern with 19 points this afternoon. But Pitt State looks to adjust. Still in the first, sharpshooter Grace Pyle buries that three-pointer. Later in the half, it's Karina Gerber and Grace Pyle showing some good chemistry there. And it's Gerber that gets the bucket. And the Gorillas led by 2 points going into halftime. So in the second half now, Jones fires away but misses. Brandy Hudson gets the rebound, and you can count that basket plus the foul. We had 16 lead changes in this game, but Pitt State starts to go on the run as Pyle hits a huge three there to put the Gorillas up by 4. Closing seconds of the third quarter, Macy Mays. She heard the chirping, and she beats the buzzer to end the third quarter, the three-point shot, and then Grace Pyle with a pump fake and then a splash. Pitt State goes on the road to get the revenge over Missouri Southern. Gorillas win this game 77-66.
Yeah, I just think it's our trust in each other. You know, I feel like we shared the ball really well. We found the open person with their heavy rotation, and we just trusted each other. It's something we prepared for all week. So in those big moments, I had 100% trust in whoever my teammate was.
Two teams really going at it, and you know, that is the MIAA as far as two really good basketball teams. And usually it's kind of like you win at home, but for two teams to meet each other on the road is tough.
Next game up, the Pitt State men's basketball team squaring off against their rivals, Missouri Southern in Joplin. Opening minutes of the game, nice play here as Vincent Sigmund Jr. goes up and under to get the basket there. Later in the first, reigning MIAA Player of the Week, Darius Dawson goes up strong to get the bucket. A few possessions later, it's Dawson who goes back to work in the paint. Darius Dawson finished the game with 18 points today for the Lions. But Pitt State showing their muscles in the paint as well as Marquis English drives in to get the roll in to go. Later in the game, it's English again who draws more contact to get the bucket. No foul, but he got the bucket. He led Pitt State with 17 points in this game. But Southern really had some momentum going for them today as Parker Law misses, but Lawson Jenkins is there for the putback. And then just before halftime, Avery Taggart is open. Nothing but net there. Missouri Southern goes on to win a close one, 75-72. The Lions have now won 3 straight games. Well, we've already hit the 3rd weekend of the softball season. Missouri Southern is off to a 9-3 start to begin the year. The Lions look for more success in day 2 of the Raising Cane's Festival softball tournament. The Lions split their 2 opening games on Friday. Now today, Missouri Southern faces a Washington Baptist. The Lions win that game 6-3. Southern originally had another game scheduled against Oklahoma Baptist tonight. That was canceled due to low temperatures. Over to the baseball side this afternoon in Pittsburgh, the Gorillas open up a 3-game series against Southwest Baptist. Pitt State wins this game 11-1. Over to Division I men's hoops, Kansas on the road at Oklahoma. First half, Javian McCollin knocks down the pull-up 3. Sooners go up by 10. Second half now, it's Kansas who's down by 5, and off the steal, it's DeJuan Harris goes over to Johnny Furphy who takes off and finishes the slam. KU now down by 3. Later in the second half, game tied at 43, Jalen Moore goes to Sam Godwin. He gets the dunk plus the foul. OU now leads by 3 after the free throw is made. Now 8 minutes left in the game. KU's Johnny Furphy who answers the call once again. He sinks a huge 3-pointer from the corner. They've needed him this season. Jayhawks lead it by 6. 2 minutes left in the game. It's Hunter Dickinson, and well, he is just too tall to stop, and you can see why here. Big dunk on the putback. Kansas goes on to beat OU on the road 67-57. So we had a split doubleheader today between Missouri Southern and Pitt State. So good to see both teams get some wins. And, you know, Division I college basketball, March Madness, you know, it's coming down the stretch here soon.
Ooh, that'll be exciting for sure. Yeah, great matchups today across the area.
Absolutely.
And, I always got to mention something about my Jayhawks. All right, thanks, Brock.
Right.
We'll be right back. For the first time, a major sports star is trading in his cleats for a controller. Fox's Eamon Dignam has more in this edition of our Fox on Game series.
It's a big milestone for both the physical and digital sporting worlds. For the first time ever, a pro athlete has become a top professional competitive gamer in the video game equivalent of his sport. Former Major League Soccer player Toussaint Ricketts told us he isn't giving up on the game he loves after leaving the field. He's just trading it in for the digital version.
It is an opportunity for MLS to engage with the new demographic, whether that be in the gamers, whether that be in the younger generation, or just engaging with the space in a different way.
Ricketts played for over a decade on the Canadian national soccer team, Toronto FC, and multiple international teams before settling at the Vancouver Whitecaps, the team he now represents in EMLS as 80 SVN, or 87.
I'm making history. I am the first ex-MLS player to participate in this event, so I want to score the first goal.
And he thinks he can bring something to the FIFA 24 gaming competition that no one else can, a career on the field.
Just in terms of positioning, knowing the right players to press, formations, and obviously what players are good.
We also asked him about his top memories as a pro.
Winning MLS Cup, it's something that many players don't get to do in their time, but lifting that trophy, that's definitely my fondest MLS playing memory.
Let's hope he can make that happen in this new adventure. The EMLS season starts this week with 22 clubs competing over 3 divisions. Check out this story and more in the Fox on Tech, Fox on Games podcast. In New York, Eamon Dignam, Fox News.
Up next, we'll check out the latest in the Hollywood nation. Makes an announcement. $1 billion movie franchise is being turned into a tourist attraction and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with all the latest in the Hollywood nation.
Saying goodbyes. Saying hello.
John Wick heads to Sin City, the Hargreaves return, and J-Lo sets her summer plans in the Hollywood nation. I can't get enough. Jennifer Lopez hits the road this summer for her This Is Me Now, the tour. The 34-city trek kicking off in Orlando, Florida, June 26th. marks Lopez's return to the touring stage after a 5-year break following her 2019 tour. She will perform her hits as well as songs off her new album, This Is Me Now.
How long do we have? 4, maybe 5 days before the rest of existence is blitzed.
The Hargreaves siblings are coming back for one last superpowered adventure. Netflix announced the 4th and final season of The Umbrella Academy premieres August 8th. Joining the main cast for the last 6 episodes is real-life married couple Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally, who will play a married pair of community college professors suffering from extreme deja vu.
We're CIA. Strap in.
HBO released a new trailer and announced the premiere date for the espionage thriller and cross-culture satire The Sympathizer. Debuting on Max April 14th, the limited series centers on a half-French, half-Vietnamese communist spy who creates a new life as a refugee in Los Angeles, where he learns his spying days are not over. The show stars Robert Downey Jr. playing multiple characters alongside Sandra Oh and Hua Shande.
You're going to die. Maybe not.
And the John Wick Experience is coming to Las Vegas. The 12,000 square foot tourist attraction will feature immersive and interactive missions, a themed bar, and retail shop. It will open on the Area 15 campus later this year.
Please pray for me.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of a sun bear in the Netherlands getting a new home. From all of us here in the studio, have a great night.